Garcia and Bret Garner.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in the state pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
The following students will present Cedar Bayou Schools Then, Now, and Yet to Come. Our students are Ayush Agrawal, Casey Benskin, Megan Clausen, Sammy Garza, Priscilla Garcia, Sarah Gregorczyk, Kylie Hebert, Shermaylin Moore, Ryan Epperson, Allison Rainey, and Bret Gardner. The students are under the direction of teachers Mrs. Anissa Cantin and Mrs. Amy Collins, and principal Mr. Bruce Davis.
School board members, Dr. Cavazos, district employees, and guests, thank you for inviting us here this evening. We are certainly honored to come and share with you about Cedar Bayou School, then, now, and yet to come. We are the student council officers for this school year, and it is definitely exciting to make this part of our leadership responsibilities for our term of office. Here you see the entrance of Cedar Bayou Junior School as it appears now, but our history and how we got here is a very interesting story, and we hope to share a few of those highlights with you this evening. So let's start our journey back in time to the year 1845. In 1845, Texas entered the Union, and the children of the Cedar Bayou area were attending school at the local Methodist Church and the Masonic Lodge, both located on Berry Road, just down from where our school sits now.
In 1910, a school bond election was held and passed. It allowed $8,000 for the construction of 2 brick school buildings, one to be located at Ellis League and one at the current Cedar Bayou location. The building was a 2-story, 4-room building. However, only 2 rooms were used as classrooms. The 2 upstairs rooms were used for skating and other recreational activities. During this time, Cedar Bayou Independent School District was formed in 1919, and it eventually grew to 5 schools total. Meanwhile, just 2 years later, Goose Creek Independent School District was formed on the western part of the Cedar Bayou District. Both districts continued to grow, and by 1925, Cedar Bayou ISD had 11 teachers. It was at that time a new bond passed, and $50,000 was allotted for the construction of what became known as the H Building. By 1932, times had changed. The district suffered financially because people were not able to pay their taxes due to the Depression. Out of desperation, it was decided to cut this year short to save money. Most did not think this was a good idea, so many took action. Teachers and volunteers decided to take a 10% pay cut, and one citizen loaned the district $2,000 just so they could finish the year. This particular building's lifespan was short as it was demolished in 1939.
Cedar Bayou High School grew into huge success. The demolition of the 2-story building made way for it to be replaced with a new high school, which featured indoor plumbing for the very first time in our school. Cedar Bayou District continued to grow and soon had all 12 grade levels, new elementary schools, a gymnasium, and enrollment reached over 1,000 students. Each year, the graduating class grew in numbers and the need for more space grew as well. So in 1944, the junior high wing was added.
The population growth continued, and so did construction. In 1947, the first cafeteria on the campus was completed. The L building was constructed in 1949 to make room for the primary grade level, followed by a boys' gym and football field in 1950 to 1951. These new additions made way for the growth of extracurricular activities in the district, and the first known record of one of these events was the Cedar Bayou High versus Goose Creek basketball game of 1919. They played up to 5 games each year against area schools. This was for the boys, of course, as girls basketball was not added until 1949.
In Texas tradition, football came to Cedar Bayou in 1925, and by 1932 they had won their first district championship. At this time, they played up to 7 games each year against districts such as Texas City, Humboldt, Goose Creek, Pasadena, Freeport, Webster, Galena Park, Crosby, LaPorte, and Barbers Hill. By 1939, the Cedar Bayou Bears had won their first bi-district championship. Unfortunately, the victorious tradition of the team was put on hold when in 1943 football was suspended due to the war. Shortly thereafter, however, the basketball team had won their first district championship in 1945, and it has just continued on from there.
Of course, sports are not the only extracurricular tradition at Cedar Bayou. In 1936, the Blue Battalion, a drum and bugle corps, was established and the full band program followed soon after. This tradition continued even after the school became a junior school. There have also been cheerleaders, home economics, track and field, choir, and the list goes on. On one day in 1950, the Baytown Sun's headlines read, "Baytown Real Estate Board urges consolidation." The idea was that the tax flow from Humboldt Refinery would make more funds available for Cedar Bayou students if it merged with Goose Creek. A vote was taken in 1952. The consolidation issue failed. However, after more campaigning, by 1954's second try, it passed in both districts. The last graduating class of Cedar Bayou High School and Cedar Bayou Independent School District was the class of 1954, and it was 45 members strong.
No matter the year, no matter the district, there are some things that we strive for all Cedar Bayou Bears have in common. First, we hope that all who enter our doors see the true value of a good education. For Miss Bessie Kilgore-Bush, one of Cedar Bayou's first students, who had to scull a skiff across Cedar Bayou and then walk 2 miles across pastures, opening and closing gates between them, just to get to school and be able to graduate with her class in the year 1918, to today's students who ride one of 15 buses or walk or are dropped off by car. We strive for all to see that what goes on in this building is important. A quality education is available at Cedar Bayou for all who enter its doors. We have teachers and staff who strive to provide us the best possible lessons. From Miss Louise Himes, who taught at Cedar Bayou Schools in 1918 for only $60 a month, plus $3 extra for janitorial duties, including building fires for warmth, to our teachers today who work many hours to give us all we need to succeed. But they wanted me to tell you, $63 a month might not work for them now.
We have always had parents and community members who want us to be successful. From that, the first Mothers Club in 1925, where the mothers run the cafeteria, and Mrs. Annie Wolfine, who loaned the school money to stay open, to our very busy PTSO and Partners in Education of today, who work hard to make sure we have what we need to succeed. Our parents and our community care about us and want us to learn all we can. In the end, we know that Cedar Bayou is where success begins for many. Here are just a few. Mr. Cullen Creek, Cedar Bayou High School graduate and football player. Miss Roberta Denman Woods, Cedar Bayou High School class of 1929 and one of the first female athletes and played basketball. Mr. Kenneth Harlan Smith, Cedar Bayou High School graduate and U.S. Army serving in the Korean War. Miss Betty Jane Barrow, Cedar Bayou High School class of 1945 and later the school secretary for Sterling High School.
Officer Raymond Lee Hardy, Cedar Bayou High School class of 1950 and 33-year officer for the Baytown Police Department. Mr. Hubert Morris Johnson, Cedar Bayou High School graduate and U.S. Navy veteran of the Korean War. And Lance Corporal Stephen Ramirez, U.S. Marines currently serving in Japan and CBJ class of 2008. As you can tell, Cedar Bayou Schools have always made a huge contribution to our community, and it is a tradition passed on from generation to generation. This is Ishmael Epperson, and he graduated from Cedar Bayou High School, and this year, this is his great-grandson, James Ryan Epperson, who will be graduating from Cedar Bayou Junior School as an honor roll student.
We all want to leave here today with you thinking that the best is behind us. Right now at CBJ, we are working to build that list of successful graduates so that one day we can add to that list. Allison Rainey, future CBJ graduate and pediatric nurse.
Casey Binskin, future CBJ graduate and teacher.
Sarah Gregorczyk, future CBJ graduate and physical therapist.
Heidi Hebert, future CBJ graduate and firefighter.
Jermaine Moore, future CBJ graduate and neonatal nurse.
Samuel Garza, future CBJ graduate and NFL football player.
Ayusha Agarwal, future CBJ graduate and Yo Kempo Jr.
Megan Clausen, future CBJ graduate and pediatrician.
Priscilla Garcia, future CBJ graduate and pediatrician.
Bret Garner, future CBJ graduate and nuclear engineer.
Ryan Epperson, future CBJ graduate.
We promise that we will continue the proud tradition of Cedar Bayou and Goose Creek. We promise to make you, our parents, our teachers, and all of those who have gone before us, Cedar Bayou Bears, proud. Thank you again for having us here this evening and for all you do for our education. Thank you.